Well, our other conversations have been helpful, deep.
Deep for sure.
I think they capture the why. We've responded to some good questions. One question that I've heard and think you can respond to however you'd like is Slate taking over?
Is Slate taking over the world, actually?
I like how you both laugh right away.
My goodness. No.
Okay, great.
The reality, I mean, and I don't know if people believe me, and they're probably at some point someone's going to be like, you can stop saying that now. But I've been praying every week, God, if this isn't of you, slam the door.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, I don't want any more work. I've learned to love work. I don't need more work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we've got enough going on. And so this has to be from God. Yeah.
And as I've gotten closer to Slate, I think their passion has been interpreted as controlling or takeover.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a perception again.
Yeah.
It's not, the closer I get to the leaders, not just you and Emma, but the staff, the leaders around the table, I see their passion for Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't misinterpret passion as control or takeover or trying to make an earthly name for yourselves. No, it's about making Christ known.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Well, we cross that one off.
There's one.
Yeah. I don't know. What else do you guys want to talk about?
What other wild questions came to us about in this process? What did we hear people ask that we were kind of like, what, really? Okay, well, let's
Selling the
dispel
building
that.
is a good one. We covered that one already.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
That's probably my fault. I've been joking about selling the Bloomingdale campus for like 4 years.
No, it came to the
Sorry,
leadership
everyone.
table. We had lots of good conversations.
Yeah.
I think one of the ones that was asked is, because Slate has recently been given leadership for Emmanuel Bible College.
Yeah.
And so one rumor that we should dispel is Slate, so Emmanuel Bible College had some financial problems and challenges and was really struggling. And I know that as an alumnus. I got the newsletter for many years. And so Slate, now that Slate's got the college under their leadership, they need financial help. So they're coming out to Bloomingdale to ask Koinonia for financial help. I can say that's not true.
They got excavators and were digging in the soccer field.
No.
Looking for money.
That's right. Yeah, no. And those, as much as Slate took on some responsibility of leadership there, two separate boards, two financial organizations, separate. When we actually first started talking, and this isn't to toot anybody's horn, but we had a $400,000 buffer in our budget. And so we're coming in super healthy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Some of it's gone because we're starting renovations on the building. But
Yeah. It's so true.
Renovations have a way of doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Another perception of Koinonia was out of the pandemic, we didn't start a second service. We have smaller numbers. Some staff were released last year, and we're merging. So obviously Koinonia is in trouble. So that was another perception that was out there. I'm glad that person asked. They came to some leaders, came to a pastor on our team and said, is this true? This is just what I'm just putting together what I'm seeing. And that's a little dangerous to do that without asking. So I'm glad they asked.
Yeah.
And we were able to say, no, we've been on a very clear journey and praying, and now God has brought us an even bigger opportunity for Him to get the glory and for us to make disciples together. So we can dispel that rumor too.
Yeah. Right sizing is not a fun journey. And then when you arrive at the destination of right sizing, you're good. Like that's why you did the journey.
Right.
Right. Like we were on a journey with that with Emmanuel, and it's excruciating. But there is a point where it stops, and now you're good to grow.
Right. You've been right-sized.
Yeah. This brings up just something that we've said often within our church, which is just go up, not out. And so this individual, you're like, thankfully they came to us. That's exactly, if you're hearing a rumor or you want to start one, just go to the person that's able to get the answer. And we're trying to do our best now that we have even more clarity than ever around this thing to equip staff, board, elders, high-level volunteers, people that we do have access to on a more regular basis, so that there's more people to go up to that have clarity of answers.
Yeah.
Because talking and running the rumor mill doesn't build the church. No. It actually really hinders it.
I like how you clarified if you've heard a rumor or you're thinking of starting one. That's funny
Don't.
that those are different categories. Sorry, were you going to jump in?
Well, I was thinking of the rumor part, and in our faith communities, we can easily talk. We're endless in having conversations, but they can lead to harmful conversations, not helpful. And so, if you're thinking of starting one, or
Come check in with us before you start a rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you want us to spend our time on building something healthy, it's best to stop the unhealthy things we often have to attend to that take us away from the building. It's like there's a difference between maintenance and building, and everybody wants to build something great, but sometimes we're perpetuators of the maintenance problems that we have as pastoral staff, and it's like, man, that wastes so much time in the kingdom when it's like just put the best lies are the ones that contain a lot of truth.
Right.
Right. This is what it started in the garden.
Yes.
Is you got the devil. He's not bringing something that was a complete lie. Otherwise, it'd been like,
what are you talking about? Yeah.
But like, oh, did God really say?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it is true that both churches went through a pandemic and nobody really knew how they were doing on the other side of it. Mm-hmm. But let's not take that to mean something it doesn't mean. Mm-hmm. Let's just ask for the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's dispel the lies. Let's live in freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another quick piece that I see within, maybe this is circling back to the why or some aspect, is the aspect about we're not in this for competition.
Right.
We're both competitive guys. We love sports, love to play hard, work hard, love to see successes, goals scored. Mm-hmm. But churches aren't meant to compete with each other. And that's what the enemy would love to do is, oh, no, don't let Slate, outdo you and try and outdo them on social media. Absolutely not.
Which cannot be done, by the way. Even if we wanted to.
Go Slate team.
The Slate comms team is pretty good.
They can't be stopped. It's so awesome.
It's like combine, not compete.
Yes.
I think sometimes with social media and that sort of thing, people assume, because I've heard that one a couple of times, like, oh, it's just do all this cool stuff on there. And it's like, contrary to popular belief, we don't sit around for 80% of our week going, how can we wow people online?
Contrary.
You don't?
There's just a couple of people who are really gifted.
Yes.
And then they bring around people that are like-minded. And I guess the thing is, like, for anybody that's ever wondered that, is the expectation we would stop them from using their gifts? Like, you should stop.
Yeah.
People are talking.
People think we're awesome.
Yeah. Wait, church is something that's interesting to some people that never thought about it before. So anyways, we're certainly, in fact, if our comms team was in the room right now, they'd be like, if you could have not slashed our budget by 66% this past year.
66. It's tough out there, guys.
Yeah.
So they asked for more money than they'd ever asked for.
Can we do more?
Right. Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah,
You already have a bad rap. How much more do you want?
Oh, man. One other kind of random question I was thinking about was people who are thinking largely our experience with church is on Sunday mornings. Mm-hmm. That's what we jump to right away. Mm-hmm. Will Sundays look different?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something we've said to kind of answering that is change is going to happen, but there's going to be a lot that's familiar.
Yeah.
So Sundays can and will look different, but there's going to be a lot that's very familiar.
Yeah, and to the maybe fear that all of a sudden Koinonia will get louder, because I think maybe that's in some people's...
Sure.
One of the reasons it's loud, in the evening it's loud because it's like young, like really young.
Sure.
And it's like, that's what that generation wants. So it's loud. In the morning, just so everybody's aware, it's actually it's a technological issue. So in order to throw sound in an environment, you have to have levels at a certain amount. If you have better sound system, you can throw sound better at a lower level.
Right.
We have not owned a good sound system until this renovation will be complete.
Right.
So you'll actually probably come and Slate and be like, this used to be the loud thing. And it's like, well, no, it just doesn't hurt your ears anymore.
Right.
It's actually very similar.
It's also impossible to project into a movie theater.
Impossible. They make them soundproof. So the person at the back, out of these tiny little speakers, it sounds loud because what we're doing was not made for that.
Yeah.
And so we're not intending to be loud. It's just like somebody at the back wouldn't be able to hear a thing unless you make it really loud at the front.
Right.
Whereas you get a better sound system in there, you don't have to do that. So for even people at Slate that are like, yeah, it is a little too loud. It is. We all agree.
Yeah.
It's terrible sound, actually. It's not good. And hopefully in 3 months, you will enjoy what your ears have never heard before.
Let's go. Renovations.
Yeah.
And maybe just a quick, what we're talking about Sundays, we could talk about teaching.
Yeah.
And how that will look.
Yeah.
Like we're not just going to be shooting videos of Brandon and
Right.
playing it every Sunday.
Yeah, we
I don't
are
think.
planning toward no.
No, just of Nick.
Oh, great. Perfect.
We are planning toward all our locations being live,
Yeah.
live worship, live teachers, but carrying the same heart and vision, same theme. So our teaching teams are going to come together, work on the series, the focus, and then our gifted speakers, communicators will go back to those locations and do the teaching. There may be times that we show a video that a senior leader would want to deliver the message all simultaneously for everybody to hear the consistent wording. We just put that out there, but we have no
Sure.
plan for that. For
Yeah.
as much as we can, we're going to be doing live.
Yeah. Neither of us would want to go to a church looking at a screened message.
Yeah.
Filmed message. So that's just like, we don't want to provide that experience for the people we lead either. And then, as Brian said, like maybe anywhere from 1 to 5 times a year would be max. There'd be a unifying message where like that needs to be heard by everybody and this person needs to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you'll have anchor people in each location because they're the location pastors, and then a preaching team that supports all of those locations.
Right.
That's great.
And so that would be Brian and Jared and Nate. Those would be anchor kind of speakers that they're going to be more common in those locations because you want to have a voice in the location you're leading.
Yeah.
And then I would be another, and Emma would be another familiar voice in every location because,
Right.
again, in order to lead people, you need to have a voice in
Yes.
the locations.
Yeah.
Otherwise, preaching team's going to have a lot of fun, like mixing things up, going around. And this isn't the end. Like right now we're talking about 2 churches merging. We're like, what does 3 locations look like? We're not looking to build an empire. It's easier to topple an empire than it is something that's smaller and gritty. And we're not going to say no to what God wants to do. And so if God places another location or plant or somebody somewhere where he's asking us to revitalize, we're going to consider that. And so, this question will be asked many more times, and we'll try to get it right this time.
Yeah.
So that other future endeavors can have the confidence of we walked through this well.
Yeah. That's the thing that's exciting to me. I think maybe a good place to park for now is that the goal is not to build these giant things all over the place. The goal is to invite God to lead us
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's truly.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Because like
absolutely.
even just thinking about our 3 campuses, the difference between Bloomingdale and Maxwell's
Yeah.
is so different. So think about what other different thing might he call us to do that we
Yeah.
can't even
Go, Nick.
conceptualize,
Yeah,
right?
that's
It's
exciting.
cool. And that is exciting.
Yeah.
And I think that, goes back to the kingdom of God is not overstaffed. we need our communities to engage and come with us and say like, Father, lead us.
Yeah,
And I've got nothing to lose, nothing to prove. Here I am.
Yeah.
There's a
Let's go.
leadership pipeline problem in Ontario. And if we raise up the leaders, there are places for them.
Yeah.
And so let's be a leadership generating, disciple making machine.
Yeah.
Let's go.
People hate that word. So maybe
Machine.
insert something else.
Organism,
Organism.
Yeah.
community,
Yep. Spirit-filled community.
congregation,
Yep. The body.
bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
Yep.
to all those listening, thanks for spending as much time as you have listening to our
Yeah.
voices.
Yeah.
And the one question I had, Nick, maybe before we end is like, what are you most excited about? Let's turn the question around. Like what's God been doing in your heart? And maybe you could close it out with your thoughts on everything.
Interesting. What am I most excited about? I think I love watching people do what they're really good at. And so I love watching sports because I can appreciate watching, a really good basketball player. I don't care much about basketball.
Yeah.
But to watch a good basketball player, I'm like, this is so sick.
Really good.
Yeah, right? Or like skateboarding. I love skateboarding. And I will watch the best skateboarders. I love communication and I will listen to the best comedians. Like, so what excites me about this is that I can see it creating opportunity for people to do what they're best at. So I even think about you, Brian, like you are so pastoral and you are so good at being with people who love you or hate you. And I've watched and I've learned and heard you tell stories of how you navigate these situations with people. And right now you're a lead pastor, so you don't get to spend as much time with people as I think people might like and as much time as you might like. So it's exciting for me to think about you being able to do what you're best at. And same with you, Brandon. Like I'm excited to see how God will use this now that we've all submitted our gifts to see how will God use the vision and strategy and mission mindedness that he's given you to roll that way.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I need to discover what that is. Like, what am I best at? Over my time at Koinonia on staff, I've done like 5 or 6 different roles, from custodial work to kids work to online stuff to whatever. And so I'm excited for the opportunity to like figure out and okay, God, what have you given me that I can give back to you to use and serve in this?
Yeah,
and I don't actually think I know what that is yet. I maybe have some ideas, but I don't know. And so that's what's exciting for me is to get to watch people be able to do what they're best at. Cause I could do that all day.
Yeah. It is exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting. And I think the reason it's exciting is because God is the one who has equipped us to be good at what we're good at.
Absolutely.
So if we are operating in what he's created us to be best at, he gets the glory and not us, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward
Can I
to.
encourage then those who are listening in to join us in this journey of what we're learning to do, of being humble, submitting, and discovering where God's at work, what he's going to stir out of us, the gifts that he's placed in us for his glory and purpose. Come on, join us and do the same thing. And we're all going to have an amazing time together living and serving God.
Yeah, let's go.
This is great.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.